Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank. Busey, your dream, our promise. You're watching Spotlight, and today I'm joined by Laura Milligan and Marion Stricker of the Riverwalk Adult Day Services. So welcome.
Thank you.
We're excited to talk to you. Seniors is such a wonderful thing, and I know that the work that you're doing is very important to them. So we're going to start off with you, Laura. Tell us a little bit about the organization.
Okay, we started in Naperville in 1983, and we provide daytime care with lots of fun activities for people that can't be left alone. We used to provide it mostly for senior citizens, but now we're taking people age 18 and up. So anybody with a mental or physical challenge that isn't safe to be left alone can come to our center and spend the day. We have registered nurses and activity aides, and they walk them through a day of fun things to do that are challenging but not frustrating. Many of our participants have dementia, such as Alzheimer's disease, and they're not able to function well at home, and a lot of times there's only one caregiver to watch them 24 hours a day. It's very, very stressful, and it causes abuse and neglect. And so we would like people to bring them to the Adult Day Service Center to spend time with their peers and with trained staff that help them through the daily activities that we have.
Yeah, and I would imagine too, I mean, you talk about just one caregiver, that's a lot for anybody, whether it's a young child, it's a senior, it's somebody struggling with different challenges. Right. So that respite for them and that wonderful opportunity to spend a constructive day with you.
Right, and a lot of the caregivers are of working age, and so they want to maintain their jobs so that they can afford to stay in the house that they're in, and they want to keep their loved one in the same neighborhood, in the same house. And this allows them to do that.
Okay. Now, you talked about the center. Give us the location.
We're at 305 West Jackson, which is the Rubin Riverwalk Community Center. It's a Park District building, and we rent our space in the building from them.
Okay, wonderful. Miriam, now you guys have gone through this rebranding and kind of a reorganization, as you alluded to a little bit, Laura. Tell us a little bit about that.
So actually, we're in the midst of the rebranding. And so back in the last couple of years, the Riverwalk Adult Day Services Center was pretty severely impacted, like so many organizations, by the state of Illinois not paying for the services that have been rendered. So in October of 2017, we partnered with SCORE, which is a group of volunteer business folks that really helped us kind of catalyze this rebranding. So in partnership with them, we went ahead and developed a 10-year strategic plan, and then we developed specific action plans against 3 different goals that we have to achieve in order to be successful. So, for instance, a logo that we had before showed 4 very old senior-type folks in our logo. But as part of the rebranding, what we want to do is we want to make sure that the community understands that the center is for all adults. You know, so it's for adults that need care, supervision during the day. So it's for a broader range of folks.
Okay.
And then another thing that was very key to our rebranding is changing our name. So the Ecumenical Day Center of Naperville was what the facility was called, but that didn't really promote the vision that we have. We want to make sure that every adult that could use the services, regardless of any religious affiliation, is welcome within the center on a very beautiful location, which is Naperville's riverfront.
Absolutely. You can't get a much nicer location than that, right?
It is absolutely stunning.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's interesting as you talk about kind of that strategic rebranding, and you talk about it being for all adults that might need that support. And that's a big shift. That's a big shift, and I would imagine you see some differences even within the context of the community itself. I would imagine that might have some very positive outcomes for everybody at the center.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Absolutely. To see the interaction between people that might be Down syndrome with people that are with dementia, it's like people that are so energetic, you know, and they keep the engagement very lively.
That's great. That's wonderful. That's nice. Laura, talk a little bit about the role that volunteers play for you at the center.
Well, we could not operate day to day without our wonderful volunteers. We do have paid staff. We have registered nurses, an activity planner, and activity aides. that are trained to work with this population and do a very nice job with it. But we have volunteers coming in just to lend an extra hand. We have volunteers that have specific duties like playing the piano or bringing a puppy to visit or having chapel service. So we're able to offer a nice variety of programming to the people that attend our center because of the volunteers. I have one volunteer that is a very good woodworker and craftsperson, and he's built different things for the center as we've needed them, and that's been very helpful.
Yeah, well, and you're also offering a nice range of volunteer opportunities for the volunteers themselves.
Right,
Sometimes
right.
it's hard to find an organization where you can tap in a variety of ways, right?
And we encourage high schoolers and younger kids to come and volunteer because we want to do intergenerational programming.
Yeah.
We don't want the people to just be there with adults all day. We want them to see the younger people, which most of us see during the day.
So Marianne, tell us a little bit about how the Board of Directors has got involved, because obviously you were engaged in the strategic plan. How are you seeing yourselves as playing forward with that mission?
So the Board of Directors, as you had indicated, is very engaged. As a matter of fact, it was the board that really made the decision to go ahead and partner with the SCORE folks in order to be able to formulate that strategic vision. And then the Board of Directors is a very engaged board because now they're volunteering on marketing subcommittee, the fundraising subcommittee, and the facility renovation subcommittee. And so the thing that's nice is because we're all volunteer board members, 100% of all the grants and the donations that come from the community go directly to the operation and the continual improvement of the center itself.
Okay, that's wonderful. It's always nice. Non-for-profits, if the board is engaged, that's such a bonus.
Yeah.
Such a bonus, right? Laura, as you kind of look to the future, how do you see things changing in the world of adult day services?
Well, one of the problems we face as a nonprofit organization is that the state pays for low-income seniors to attend our program, but right now they only pay about half of what our cost is to provide the service. And so we're hoping that, as other states have done, that we verify that Medicare will start paying for the service. We're not considered a medical service, even though we provide registered nurses that give medications and check blood sugars and monitor oxygen and give breathing treatments, but they don't look at adult care, adult day services as a medical service, and it really is.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that that funding comes through. One of the things I've seen, I've been with the center 33 years, and I'm seeing a younger clientele come in with more dementias and more mental health challenges than what we used to see.
Okay, so even more important that you have that funding and the money to be able to support the work that you're doing on behalf of that community. Yeah. Marianne, as we just wrap up, why should we get involved? Why did you get involved?
So it's interesting how you get involved in different organizations, and it's because somebody asked me. Somebody asked whether I would be interested in becoming a board member. And prior to that, I did not even know that there were adult day services facilities that were here in Naperville. So doing a little research, took a look at just what institutional care costs here in Naperville, and it's absolutely staggering. But the alternative to adult day services might be in-home care, and again to take a look at like providing 6 hours per day, per week of in-home care. It costs twice as much as providing the adult day services care at a facility where they can be social and stimulated by others as well as other activities. So I mean, it was very exciting to see that, but what really caps it, what makes the passion, is meeting the participants and then meeting the caregivers who are so incredibly grateful.
Oh, well, that's a good reason for others to get engaged, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for what you're doing and for sharing the new news and kind of the rebranding that you're going. We'll be excited to hear more about that.
Very good.
If you would like to find out more about how you can help support the Riverwalk Adult Day Services, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We're coming right back with more Spotlight.